following is a Blazer Broadcasting sports presentation. Sometimes during the first half of the season, the Blazers have had it all come together, but they have also experienced losing it all. It has indeed been an up-and-down season. Good evening, everybody. I'm Bill Schonley, and welcome to another trip down the Blazer Trail. Settle in now and enjoy the ride as we take a close look at the season and much, much more.
Sometimes you're the wind machine, sometimes you're the bug, sometimes it all comes together, sometimes you're full in love, sometimes you're the little slugger, sometimes you're the ball, sometimes it all comes together, baby, sometimes you're gonna lose it all.
Tonight's special presentation of Blazer Trail, a mid-season report, is brought to you by Montanore Vineyards of Forest Grove, Oregon's premier wine estate, by Smith's Home Furnishing, the Northwest's premier retailer of home furnishing, and by Thriftway. At Thriftway, you always get our best.
When it comes to fresh produce, Thriftway has everything you could want. A luscious array of the finest fruits and vegetables, fresh to you from the fields and orchards. Ripe, colorful, and bursting with flavor. Only Thriftway brings you all this goodness and something more. Friendly, personal service that makes shopping just a little bit nicer.
At Thriftway, you always get our best.
If you don't build a good product, if you don't take care of your customer, they'll go somewhere else. There are a lot of small towns that do depend on these factories.
Throughout America, IBM is working with all types of industries to create a new way of manufacturing, where IBM technology is helping everyone contribute toward the same goal, so better products get to the market faster, which keeps all of us a step ahead.
You want to go home at night, you feel good, and you feel you got something done.
It's a fact. If you buy the tools and equipment you need to do a job, you're going to spend a lot of money. If you rent those tools and equipment from Power Rents, you're going to save a lot of money. No matter what kind of job you do, Power Rents can help. Whether you need something big for a big job or something small for a small job, Power Rents can help. You'll get stuff that works great. You'll get pronto service anytime. You'll keep things simple. So hang on to your money. Rent from Power Rents. Nobody works harder to earn your business.
We'll be in the championship round. We'll be there, and like anything less would be very disappointing because we're just too good to keep coming up short.
Those words reflected what most thought during fall camp, and therefore many thought the Blazers would again roll through the regular season. just as they did a year ago. But the ride hasn't been as smooth as their fans expected. And as you know, Portland just wrapped up a 4-game and 6-night swing into the East. Let's now take a brief glance at that trip. Before this past week's road trip, the first 2.5 months of the season have been memorable, if not exactly what everybody had in mind. Everything started out fine with the Blazers opening defense of their Pacific Division title by easily handling Cleveland on opening night, but things changed quickly and dramatically. Portland dropped the next 3, including a 24-point home loss to Phoenix, and found itself in a very strange position, looking up at the rest of the division.
They don't look like they have that same drive, that same will to win as they had in previous years. You see when you watch them on TV, and they're not the same team as they were last year.
The Blazers seemed to put the early season fears to rest by ringing up 6 wins in the next 7 outings. Robert Pack took the city by storm by sparking the team with impressive outings, including leading Portland back from a 21-point deficit at Minnesota. But through it all, the Blazers seemed to be missing a spark and the determination that is the hallmark of the squad, and it would cost them on their home floor. Portland uncharacteristically dropped close games to Golden State and Chicago. The Blazers took the world champions to 2 overtimes as Clyde Drexler and Michael Jordan hooked up in a classic confrontation, with Jordan scoring 40 and Clyde putting up 38. The Blazers finished November 9-6, but no one wanted to consider where they would have been without arguably the best month of Drexler's career. The Glides month included a 48-point outburst against San Antonio, and he was named the Edge NBA Player of the Month. The Blazers rang in the holiday season, winning 3 of 4 out on the road. The only defeat, an overtime loss in Philadelphia.
2 seconds left. We're tied in overtime. Anderson, Dawkins, shoots for the win. Billy wins.
The Blazers returned home, but tough, close defeats came with them. Portland could not hold a lead against Houston, and then were handled by the Pistons. Questions abounded about what was wrong.
They need to play hard every game, get up for every game, and play the whole game, not just parts of it. They got to treat the fourth quarter, and they got to get up for bad teams, just like they would Pistons or Bulls or anybody.
I don't think we're too worried about it here in Portland. We're looking forward to the playoffs, and that's the most important thing. And that's what we're really geared up for. The last couple of years we've been in the playoffs, and you know, look where we've ended up. This year we just want to get to the playoffs. We don't care about the regular season record, just win it. And we're gearing up for Chicago. We'll see you guys back in '92.
The Blazers rebounded with back-to-back home victories, including the 150th win of Rick Alleman's coaching career, but then gave up 123 points in losing to division-leading Golden State in the Bay Area. But suddenly, the roller coaster started a quick ride up.
Final quarter. Mercy inside. Score.
The intensity returned, and so did the wins, as the Blazers closed out 1991 by holding 4 straight teams under 100 points and riding a 4-game winning streak.
I thought that they they might have like their slow fall at the beginning of the season this year and pick it up toward the end and win a lot more games toward the end after they get going.
We knew we kind of, if we kept playing hard and kept working hard and started playing some defense, that we were going to turn this thing around.
Included in the stretch, an impressive win at the Forum over the Lakers. The kind of win you can build on.
I think the Laker game down in L.A. was a big game for us. Then to come back and play Miami the next night and play well for, I guess, 96 minutes is encouraging to see. And hopefully that'll, be something that leads to us playing well for the rest of the year. We've got a lot of games left, and consistency is going to be something that helps us win a lot of them.
The new year began with a tough loss in Utah, but the Blazers quickly removed any worries that they were back. They crushed Philadelphia at Memorial Coliseum.
I just hope they win the championship. That's all I can say.
No worries at all. I think our team is definitely going to continue to improve and improve to the level we can get back to the NBA Finals.
Be sure to join us Tuesday night when traditional Blazer nemesis, the LA Lakers, invade the Coliseum for their first visit to Portland since Magic Johnson's retirement. We'll have all the action on Blazer Cable with game time at 5 o'clock and a 4:30 pregame show. And 1 week from tonight, the Blazers travel to Seattle to take on their Northwest rivals. Catch all the action on KOIN television and the rest of the Blazer television network starting at 7 o'clock.
If you don't build good product, if you don't take care of your customer, they'll go somewhere else.
There are a lot of small towns that do depend on these factories.
Throughout America, IBM is working with all types of industries to create a new way of manufacturing, where IBM technology is helping everyone contribute toward the same goal, so better products get to the market faster, which keeps all of us a step ahead.
You want to go home at night, you feel good, and you feel you got something done.
I've taken a lot of shots in my career. Most have hit the mark. One or two have missed. But the shots I never miss are the ones I take with my Panasonic camcorder. Once-in-a-lifetime shots are too important to trust to anything less than Panasonic. And even though the camera fits in my hand, I can play the tape in my VCR. So make sure you never miss the big shot. Make sure you choose Panasonic. See my friends at Smith's Home Furnishings.
Blending modern technology with centuries of European tradition, Montanore Vineyards brings outstanding premium wines from the vine to your glass. Consistently rated among America's best, Montanore wines add a special touch of elegance to your dinner table and social gatherings. Ask for Montanore wherever fine wines are sold. Montanore Vineyards of Forest Grove, Oregon's premier wine estate.
For the most flavorful meats, ocean-fresh seafood, and locally grown poultry, come to Thriftway. You'll find just what you want. And because you wouldn't settle for less than the best, neither do we. That's why every time you shop at Thriftway, you get all this quality and something more. Friendly, personal service from people who really care.
At Thriftway, you always get our best.
For the most part, rookies don't have much impact in the NBA, especially those that go undrafted. But that has not been the case this season with the man they call Pac-Man. It doesn't go. Sanders the rebound for Indiana. Pass to Fleming. Stolen by Robert Pack. He scores! Right place at the right time. Robert Pack.
The Robert Pack story, though, isn't quite that simple. After growing up in the projects of New Orleans, Louisiana, Robert advanced through junior college in Texas and then joined the ranks of the Pac-10 at Southern Cal. But despite averaging 15 points per game and leading the Trojans in assists and steals for his 2 starting seasons, he was never the player pro scouts came to see. That honor belonged to teammate Harold Miner. Despite Robert's talents, his name went uncalled during the NBA draft this past June. What's more, he didn't receive a single invitation to a postseason player evaluation camp or an NBA summer camp. He jumped at his only option, the free agent division of the Southern California Summer Pro League, where he turned some heads and went home with MVP honors. Still no takers, but all through the year, Robert's college head coach George Raveling kept pushing his cause, and finally it paid off. The rest, as they say, is history.
Robert Pack was a player who was recommended to us by his college coach during last year's college season. And during the summer months, I went and saw him play in the free agent all-star game, and his speed, his quickness, his strength was enough to warrant a tryout. How things have turned out is a surprise to all of us.
Robert's newest hurdle would prove to be his most imposing challenge, how to make the 12-man roster on what many experts believe to be the best team in the league. Despite the long odds, he never lost faith.
That's the attitude I had, that I would make the team. When they showed interest in me, I felt they had the interest, and I was going to come in and give it my best shot. And you have to think about a team like Portland winning 63 games last year and having the whole team return and having the chemistry all there. You have to wonder if they're willing to make any changes. But they invited me, and I felt they were interested, and I just wanted to give it my best shot.
As for the coaching staff, they weren't quite sure what to think, at least at first.
I think during training camp we thought he had a somewhat of a chance. I don't think we were really counting on him. In training camp he really picked his level of play up, and then in the exhibition season he played very well. You got to give Robert all the credit in the world. He's the one who won the job for himself. No one else did it. He surprised everybody, I think, and every day just kept getting better.
In making the team, Robert not only did the unthinkable, but also forced the Blazers to waive Walter Davis, one of the most prolific scorers in NBA history. It was clear that Robert was very much in Portland's present and future plans. All of it left the newest Blazer rather stunned.
I was real happy. I really couldn't believe it at the time when it finally came down that I was going to be in the final 12 on the roster. It was a great moment for me. I just tried to get through practice so I could get home and really let it sink in a while.
With the Blazers off to an uncharacteristically slow start, Robert found himself earning minutes and making the most of his time with his lightning-fast quickness and energy boost off the bench. But the best was yet to come. Just 2 weeks into the season, the Blazers found themselves trailing by 21 in Minnesota on national TV, no less. While Clyde Drexler helped get them close, Robert took the stage front and center down the stretch, first hitting the winning basket and then sealing the game on defense.
They get it over to Mitchell. Mitchell's double team, stripped to the ball by Pack. Drexler, Robert Pack, breakaway. They score! 6.4 seconds remaining to be played in the game.
A star is born.
Yes, sir.
Everybody was happy. A lot of my friends called me. My parents, wish they watched it, and a lot of my friends saw it back home, and they were really, happy. Some of my friends didn't even know I was in the league, and that was their first time seeing me play, and to have a game like that, they were really surprised, and I got a lot of attention from that, from a lot of friends.
After a few more strong performances, Robert became Pac-Man. Everyone wanted a piece of him, and his celebrity status truly evoked memories of another Rip City cult hero, Billy Ray Bates. For Robert, he's just taking it all in stride.
Well, I try not to put any pressure. I know that's the fans or the media, whatever. You can't control those things. They're going to react the way they want to, and I just try to keep myself focused and try to, remember what I'm here to do is to play basketball, and I try to, kind of stay on that line of thinking and, just try to keep working hard.
The attention's nice, but for Robert, it's family first. Now, since his parents moved to Tacoma nearly 3 years ago, Robert can share his dream-come-true job with them without dialing long distance.
They come down mostly all the home games, and it's a good feeling to have them being in the crowd instead of having to catch a game every now and then like they did at SC. Knowing that they're in the stand, they can get to watch me play, it's a good feeling.
With his new team showing signs of improvement all the time, Robert gets fewer chances now to don his Pac-Man cape. But like most rookies, gets to learn the NBA game from the bench. He makes good use of his free time, though, always one of, if not the first, to work on his shot before practices, shoot-arounds, and games. As one teammate sees it, working on that shot is the only way to go.
And he's just got to learn that, as a point guard in this league, the one thing you always have to continue to work on is your outside shot. You can never be too good on your outside shot. That's going to be the one thing that, as a point guard, you have to continue to work on throughout your whole career.
And for Pac-Man, he figures he's only just begun.
Just the way the league is, seeing the different point guards and and the way they play, and even watching Terry, the way he's able to operate out there with his jump shot being effective, and he's able to, guys have to respect him, and he can go by guys. I just want to be one better point guards in the league in a couple of years. So I think that's what's helping me to stay focused and positive about getting better.
Robert and his teammates are the focal point in the Blazer organization, and rightfully so. But the organization does its part in the community as well. Included in their efforts is an award-winning educational program that has reached thousands of students.
Clyde Drexler attracts even more attention in a classroom than he does driving the lane against the Lakers. But the NBA All-Star welcomes it when he presents awards in the Blazer Avia Scholastic Improvement Concepts program.
First of all, I'd like to say congratulations. You all are a very special group.
To achieve such recognition, students work individually to improve their effort in class and to write essays on a current topic. They also team up to accumulate as many hours of reading for pleasure as they can during a 30-day period. This year, students from Lynch Meadows School outdid every other fourth grade class in Oregon and Southwest Washington. The 24 students in Cheryl Geddes' class logged 1,240 hours in the reading fitness phase of the basic program during October.
Because it's actually fun to read, and you have all these adventures you can read, and there's a lot of things you can learn about life.
Reading is sort of like a sport. It's sort of like collecting stamps. It's a fun thing to do.
Those youngsters from Lynch Meadows will also have fun spending the $500 check for winning the reading fitness phase. The kids have a long list of things they'd like for their school. Other incentives for reading fitness include reference books and a plaque for their classroom, Blazer tickets, merchandise, and an expense-paid trip to a Portland NBA game go to the improvement and essay contest winners in the basic program. The Blazers' goal is to win basketball games, while teachers try to help students perform at their best. Working together, they can do an even better job.
They won't all be stars one of these days, but they can be like a trailblazer because, say, Clyde Drexler likes to read. That's one of the things he chooses to do is read. That's really impressive to a kid.
Well, it just shows them that there are people out there that they know who really care about their education and what they learn in school. And what that does is just bring guys that they see on the TV that they consider role models into their classroom. I think it really makes a positive influence on the kids.
Since the basic program began in 1984, almost 370,000 students have participated, and it's received national recognition. That includes presidential citations, awards from the National Association of School Psychologists, and even network news stories. But the most important impression is the one the basic program is making on the students.
You feel good when you know you're being rewarded for it, and self-satisfaction just from doing your work and doing the best you can at school.
And we can use it for academics, we can use it for improved self-discipline, for social skills, for any achievement that the kids are working toward to be better human beings. And so I find it's excellent.
The Portland Trailblazers presents Rip City White and Rip City Blush, because serious winemakers can have fun too.
Next time you go to buy a tool or a piece of equipment, wait, hold on, save your money, rent from Power Rents instead. It makes sense. No matter what kind of job you do, Power Rents has what you need. Something big for a big job, something small for a small job. Power Rents has what you need when you need it. You'll get stuff that works great and pronto service too. So the next time you need a tool or a piece of equipment, don't buy, rent, and save at Power Rents. Nobody works harder to earn your business.
Tonight's special presentation of Blazer Trail, a mid-season report, is being brought to you by Smith's Home Furnishing, the Northwest's premier retailer of home furnishings. By Thriftway. At Thriftway, you always get our best. By IBM. Whatever your size, whatever your needs, IBM is working to bring you the best solution. And by Power Rents. We work harder to earn your business.
Memorial Coliseum, a structure that has served the Blazers admirably since the team's inception more than 2 decades ago. But now a new home for the Blazers looms on the horizon. The Oregon Arena project is an exciting development for the entire region.
We believe the region can support a new arena with capacity in the range of 16 to 20,000 seats. We want to lead the effort to develop this new arena in a manner that will best serve the public interest and provide a home for a wide variety of sports, entertainment, and special events, including, of course, a new home for the Trailblazers.
This decision is a talisman that promises good fortune in the 90s and beyond for our central city and especially for Northeast Portland. Let's pull together and provide Portland with an arena that embodies the spirit of Rip City.
With those words, the Oregon Arena project moved from being an oft-talked-about idea to a massive undertaking of planning and decision-making between the Trailblazers, the city of Portland, and Metro. Perhaps the first issue to be addressed was one of need. When the Utah Jazz finished construction on Salt Lake City's Delta Center this fall, Memorial Coliseum became the smallest building hosting an NBA franchise. In addition, the Glass Palace is one of the league's oldest facilities. For the Blazers to remain competitive and for the city to be able to draw premium sports, entertainment, and larger conventions, the message was clear. A new arena was indeed a project with merit for everyone involved.
I think that the site is incredibly unique, being that it has wonderful views of the river and of downtown, which are probably unique in the nation to have this size and amount of property and this availability of property in relationship to a downtown on the river that Portland has. It's a wonderful site.
After deciding to pursue a project, the next question was where. After an extensive search, it was decided home was the best place to stay. The new arena project will be adjacent to the Coliseum, turning a sea of parking into an urban center filled with pedestrian plazas, sidewalks and crosswalks, restaurants, landscaping, and other features for the community to enjoy.
The fact remains that if you look at the successful facilities across the country, they succeed when they're downtown.
It was important to the Trailblazers, and it's important to the city of Portland because we do land use planning, good land use and transportation planning. And when you have, and Portland works like the spokes of a wheel, and everything filters into the center. And basically the location of the Coliseum and now the arena is at the center of those spokes. And everything can come together in the transportation system, then everything spreads out again. People can get home easier, etc. down the line, and they can go by mass transit.
When talking about a new arena that will seat 19,200 for basketball and retaining a refurbished Memorial Coliseum, mass transit becomes an important factor. In Portland, the key is turned by TriMet with its bus and light rail systems. The project calls for 3,100 on-site parking spaces, coupled with an innovative transportation management plan that calls for extensive use of shuttle buses to nearby off-site parking, in addition to public transit.
Probably the most positive affirmation that public transit has ever received in this region. For a publicly and privately sponsored development of some $180 million to say, we're going to put that kind of investment in place, $140 million of that private money that is transit dependent, is literally a vote of confidence in both this agency and the region's commitment to workable transit that boggles the imagination.
The public-private partnership Walsh refers to is one thing that makes the Oregon Arena project unique. More than 80% of the price tag will be put up by Paul Allen's Oregon Arena Corporation. The remaining $35 million comes from the public in the form of user fees for the new facilities. A public investment that will return an estimated $300 million in a 30-year time period. It's an agreement made unusual by its structure and cooperation by all parties involved.
We really haven't seen anywhere, I don't think, the kind of partnership we've got here. Basically, the public is doing three things. They're building parking garages, which we need anyway, that are going to be helpful to all sorts of events going on in the area. They're going to create the infrastructure, the roads and public places and the plazas and so forth that are necessary to make this an exciting entertainment village. And thirdly, they're going to upgrade Memorial Coliseum, which needed to be done anyway.
The Coliseum and exhibit halls will remain with a facelift and will be a significant portion of the Oregon Arena project. The project will also include a major new entertainment complex, clubs, office space, and other facilities. It will be a gateway to Northeast Portland, tying downtown and the east side of the Willamette River, a destination for the region and visitors as well.
The entertainment village concept, where there are shops and professional complexes and other kinds of things, was going to create opportunities for not just going to watch a game and providing that kind of support, but a broad spectrum of business. Yes, there is some excitement about that.
Northeast Portland business and neighborhoods have been involved in a series of public hearings and private meetings with project executives. A neighborhood advisory group and special subcommittee from the adjacent Elliott neighborhood have met with the Blazers over the past 6 months.
What I think has been exciting for everybody about what the Portland Trailblazers have done is that they went out, got involved, from neighborhood associations to business associations to public entities, and asked the questions, got the answers, and I'm not certain that all the answers that they initially received were the answers they would have anticipated that they would have gotten. But as a result of getting those answers, they were able to then come back with some solutions that everyone said, this is unbelievable.
The Blazers also listened to what the Arena Task Force had to say. The task force, a group appointed to represent the public's interest, gave a thumbs up to the project in the fall. And shortly afterward, the Portland City Council and Metro Council also gave their stamp of approval to the basic outlines of how the project should proceed. There are still ongoing negotiations and financing to be secured, but the Oregon Arena project is moving ahead at an impressive pace. If all goes well, ground will be broken this summer, and the doors to new facilities open in time for the 1994-95 Trailblazers season.
It truly will be an entertainment destination, not only for sporting events, but for concerts, for going to eat somewhere, to go hear good music. It's intended to be an entertainment complex and a district of the city.
When you're going to have that much investment in the city of Portland, and it's not going to cost the taxpayers any money because it's going to be supported basically by user fees, what more could you ask for?
We ended up with really more than we could have hoped for, because we were able to keep the Memorial Coliseum, enhance the convention center, have a new entertainment district that we don't have in Portland, and end up with more than 19,000 seats in an arena, which will allow a lot more people to see the Trailblazers as well as the other exciting events we're going to have. Needless to say, I'm excited about it.
It is, I think, relatively unique in terms of relationships between the private sector and the public sector. I think Portlanders and in the metropolitan area ought to be real proud of that, and I think they're going to have a wonderful facility that's going to do a lot for the community.
If you don't build good product, if you don't take care of your customer, they'll go somewhere else.
There are a lot of small towns that do depend on these factories.
Throughout America, IBM is working with all types of industries to create a new way of manufacturing, where IBM technology is helping everyone contribute toward the same goal, so better products get to the market faster, which keeps all of us a step ahead.
You want to go home at night, you feel good, and you feel you got something done.
Freshness and variety. Thriftway brings you the best of both right in the store. And everything you need for a great meal to go. Delicious deli salads and casseroles, lean sliced meats, plus hearty home-style breads, rolls, and baked goods. When you shop at Thriftway, you get all this variety, plus friendly personal service that makes shopping a pleasure.
At Thriftway, you always get our best.
It's a fact. If you buy the tools and equipment you need to do a job, you're going to spend a lot of money. If you rent those tools and equipment from Power Rents, you're going to save a lot of money. No matter what kind of job you do, Power Rents can help. Whether you need something big for a big job or something small for a small job, Power Rents can help. You'll get stuff that works great. You'll get pronto service anytime. You'll keep things simple. So hang on to your money. Rent from Power Rents. Nobody works harder to earn your business.
Blending modern technology with centuries of European tradition, Montanore Vineyards brings outstanding premium wines from the vine to your glass. Consistently rated among America's best, Montanore wines add a special touch of elegance to your dinner table and social gatherings. Ask for Montanore wherever fine wines are sold. Montanore Vineyards of Forest Grove, Oregon's premier wine estate.
Welcome back. As we discussed earlier in the program, the team's roller coaster season has some concern about the Blazers. Mike Rice addresses this and more as he now goes one-on-one with head coach Rick Adelman.
Chuck Daly, when we interviewed him last month, was talking about the pressures of coaching, the challenge. He said we had 2 real big winning seasons, and he said the toughest year that he ever had coaching came in the 3rd year. He said everyone expected them to win. He said night after night, mentally, it was so difficult to get his team ready. It was much easier in the playoffs that year. The Blazers, are they finding the same situation?
I think there's some truth to that. I think when you've won 2 years like we have and you won big in the regular season, everybody's #1 shooting for you. And I think everybody's predicted us, even though we didn't even get to the finals last year, to win it this year, or at least play Chicago in the finals. And so the expectations are there, and I think that the players in their own mind, whether they wanted to or not, really kind of thought that it's going to be easy this year. We just go out and play and we're going to win games, and that's really not true. But the pressure is there. But I think you learn from it, though. I think you get used to that. The only problem is we're a victim of our own success.
You read USA Today with Peter Vesey, Charles Barkley of the 76ers. They're always talking about trades, and the Blazers might be in on this trade or that trade. How much, honestly, does yourself and the staff talk about trades for this experienced team?
Not a lot. I think, there's always discussions going on, and you're always trying to see, can we improve this team? How can you improve this team? And obviously, you would like to get a player that's going to help you win a championship. But realistically, with the salary cap and with all the things going on, no one wants to help us. And you're not going to get players that are going to make a huge difference very often. So I don't get too serious about it until I hear something definite and really something that we want to do. Charles, it amazes me when you read that he says that we have the most talented team. Him and Magic think we have the most talented team in the league. We have a talented team, but there's a lot of talented teams in this league. But the amazing thing is he thinks we can trade 4 of those talented players to get him, so he must be awfully good.
That's right. How about now the preseason? You talked about 2 things you really wanted to do, half-court execution, and the other thing was lay off the referees a little bit. Give your teams a grade in both of those areas.
Well, I think the half-court thing has been so talked about so much, it's just to the point of being ridiculous. That's something that you don't do initially. You just don't change your team. And it's got to the point where people say we weren't winning because we were concentrating so much in a half-court game. That has never happened. We've been pretty good in the half-court game. I guess I'm one of the minority there. We've won a lot of close games. This year we've lost close games. So if we've been working on it, something hasn't been right. We ought to go back to what we did last year. But that is one area we want to do, and I think it's been difficult because we haven't been playing at the same level. When you're better players like Terry or Danny or Cliff Robinson went through a tough time, or Duck went through a tough time, it's hard to run a good half-court offense because you limit your possibilities. As far as the referees, I think the players have really done a great job. I don't see us complaining that much. We haven't had a lot of technicals. It's one of those things that people talk about it so much now. If we do happen to complain, they say, oh, there they go again, like the Utah game that we lost. I think we had some legitimate gripes in that game. We haven't talked much about the officials costing us games or anything like that, but the players have made a conscious effort. You see them. They don't turn and they don't react to the officials as much as they did before. As long as they keep their fire out there, that's fine with me, and I think they're going to continue to do that.
And finally, if you looked at one area that you could improve upon before the playoffs started, what area for the Blazers would that be in?
Well, I still think it comes back to the fact that we have to realize when we play on offense that we have to have not only good ball movement, but player movement. And I really feel that that's a key for us. When we get ourselves in trouble, we start standing, we start settling for outside shots, And everybody knows we're not the best outside shooting team in the league. But if we're really moving the ball and moving people, we're going to get to the basket, and we're going to hurt people, and we're going to get to the opposite boards. And the other thing is we have to continue to see progression from all of our players. So whatever happens in the playoffs, we have an answer for. If Ducks is having a tough time, then someone else has to step up, and we have to have the ability to go to somebody else and make that effective. Last year, I think, when Ducks struggled, we had a tough time finding another guy to answer that. And that's our goal this year, is to really have an answer for whatever anybody throws at us so we can go out and succeed in the playoffs.
Thank you, Rick.
Okay.
Well, you've heard the coach's thoughts, but how about a player's point of view? Here's Terry Porter with his perspectives on some familiar issues.
I definitely think the pros should be in the Olympics. So many other countries in the world have been able to use their pros to play against our amateur players, and I think it's only fitting that, we are able to use our best players in the world to represent our country. Not to take anything away from the collegiates. Yes, the collegiates definitely did a great job up to this point, but I definitely think we should, I guess, lead by, not so much lead by example, but follow what so many other countries have done in the past Olympics and use the best players possible. It's really hard as a player. Sometimes I think the fans deserve an opportunity or a way to express themselves, but I think it should definitely lean more towards the coaches and the players. Something very similar to what the NFL guys do when they select the Pro Bowl team. The players selected, and I think the coaches are also involved in that process. The fans that come to the game every day do have some type of recognition of what's going on, but I think it has to go into the coaches and the players' hands who see all the players and know what each player can do and know who's worthy of being an all-star or not. It's definitely really sad when you think about it. It takes a player like Magic, a tragedy that happened to a player like Magic for the world and just the professional athlete scene, period, to start recognizing this as definitely a disease that we need to find a cure for. And, Magic is, probably the best player to try to attack this, and he's got enough backers where he can get enough money and get the education part out there and definitely try to, get enough funds where he can try to find the right type of medicine to cure this disease. It's time to remember Magic for what he brought to the NBA and, what he brought to this world as a person, not as just a basketball player.
Because of the HIV virus that I have attained, I will have to retire from the Lakers today.
take with me the memory to be my sunshine under the rain. It's so hard to say goodbye to yesterday. And I'll take with me the memory to be my sunshine after the rain. It's so hard to say goodbye to yesterday.
Here's why Nobody Cares Like Smith's is more than just a great slogan.
Montador Vineyards of Forest Grove, sponsor of the Portland Trailblazers, presents Rip City White and Rip City Blush. Because serious winemakers can have fun too.
If you don't build good product, if you don't take care of your customer, they'll go somewhere else. There are a lot of small towns that do depend on these factories.
Throughout America, IBM is working with all types of industries to create a new way of manufacturing, where IBM technology is helping everyone contribute toward the same goal, so better products get to the market faster, which keeps all of us a step ahead.
You want to go home at night, you feel good, and you feel you got something done.
The NBA season is truly a long haul, and only a short time has passed during this campaign. So we thought we'd give our resident experts, if you will, a chance to take a friendly look at what's happened so far and to offer their thoughts on what to expect the rest of the way.
Oh, no! What are you talking about? That can't be... check the mark. Check the mark.
Out. Marks? That's clay. Are you playing tennis or what?
That's about as well as you play. You play like a chump. You know, that's what I'm telling you. Chumps get bananas.
It was the most ballyhooed fight in heavyweight boxing history. Tyson, Holyfield. It was supposed to be November 8th. It was on everybody's lips, and everybody wanted to see it. But it's of no surprise to me that Tyson claimed injury. And 1992, Rice and Jones were supposed to have this big match. Put that story to bed. But it's also of no surprise you claim injury. Now, there are some surprises in the NBA, the Eastern Conference, and the Atlantic Division in particular.
When I am healed, I know I'm going to make you wear these for the line calls. The New York Knicks are the big surprise. Pat Riley, first part of the season, maybe he can coach without Magic. He has so far.
I think the biggest improvement has been made on the inside. I feel the addition of Xavier McDaniel has given them some strength, also some physical ability underneath the boards to go along with Patrick and Oakley. With those three guys under there, you know, they can be very intimidating. I think a lot of the guys on the team have been feeding off of that and gaining a lot of confidence.
Steve, didn't you say a few months ago the Sixers were going to win the Atlantic Division?
Philly in the Atlantic, no question. Barkley is going to be healthy all year long, along with Johnny Dawkins. Charles Shackelford in the middle. Philadelphia's back on top.
Have you ever heard of injury? I said if Barkley stays healthy and Shackelford, he's going to start catching the planes on time. I'm going to stick with the Philadelphia 76ers.
You still have that temperature from the first show. The only pick I liked was Cleveland.
Don't do that. Cleveland doesn't want you.
I like them over Boston now.
Oh, my. See, you flipped just like this record, and I'm surprised that, again, you're not saying Chicago because it's obvious. They have the best record in the NBA. They're playing like the defending champions, and if you're going to win a championship, you have to go through Chicago.
They are defending better and better as the season goes along, and that's really what won for them last year. I thought their double-teaming activities against the Lakers were critical in their winning the series there, and their team defense has just gradually improved to now it's one of the best in the league. I think that's what carries them.
Mike, when we talked about the Western Conference, we talked about Portland as the odds-on favorite, but there was also something that I said, that if the Trailblazers couldn't stand the pressure, that the San Antonio Spurs would be the team to beat in the Western Conference.
No way. Utah now is the team. Biggest steal since Louisiana purchased Tyrone Corbin. Utah will win the Midwest Division over San Antonio by 5 games.
When Don Nelson broke up Run TMC, Mitch Richmond to Sacramento, and Billy Owens to the Warriors, everyone in the NBA was shaking their heads. He must have known something.
I think he did. At the end of the season, I think Golden State will have the best record in the West. They won't be the best playoff team, but they'll have the best record.
No more jokes.
So I think the reason they're off to the start of the year is because of Marcelinus. When Richmond left, they brought Owens in. Marcelinus stepped in. He's averaging 17 points a game. If he hadn't done that, I think they would have struggled a little bit, but they're an excellent team.
So, Mike, you had a problem with Philadelphia, but I tell you, I got a real problem. Portland, L.A. in the Western Conference Finals, what a bone.
The Lakers are still the team to beat. Portland will have to beat the Lakers in the conference finals, and they will. Magic Johnson's November 7th announcement has changed my pick in the West. I have a new team to replace those Lakers, the Phoenix Suns. Jeff Hornacek, Tim Perry, they're playing championship basketball. They'll play Portland in the Western Finals.
I need some tape. Portland has struggled to hold serve in the early part of the season, and Clyde Drexler has some concerns about that.
We're very concerned. I don't think there's not anybody on the team that isn't concerned, because we know we can play better. It's just a matter of going out and doing it. But I think, considering everything that's been said and done, we've done very well.
Steve, last year, I believe Portland worried too much about winning that home court advantage and not enough about the playoffs. I think this year they're going to be focused on winning the playoffs and going all the way.
Mike, let's remember one thing. The season is a long way to go. A lot of stories that are going to unfold, but you are not going to be one of them.
If you wear these, let's finish our set.
You'll be able to see if Mike and Steve are right as we continue to follow the Blazers to season's end and throughout the playoffs. You can see the Blazers take on James Worthy and the L.A. Lakers on Blazer Cable Tuesday night. Game time is 5 o'clock with a 4:30 pregame show. And from traditional rival to Northwest rival as Portland travels to Seattle to take on Gary Payton and the Seattle Supersonics. Catch the excitement 1 week from tonight on KOIN Television and the rest of the Blazer Television Network starting at 7 o'clock.
Next time you go to buy a tool or a piece of equipment, wait, hold on, save your money. Rent from Power Rents instead. It makes sense. No matter what kind of job you do, Power Rent has what you need. Something big for a big job, something small for a small job. Power Rent has what you need when you need it. You'll get stuff that works great and pronto service too. So the next time you need a tool or a piece of equipment, don't buy, rent and save at Power Rent. Nobody works harder to earn your business.
I've taken a lot of shots in my career. Most have hit the mark. 1 or 2 have missed. But the shots I never miss are the ones I take with my Panasonic camcorder. Once-in-a-lifetime shots are too important to trust to anything less than Panasonic. And even though the camera fits in my hand, I can play the tape in my VCR. So make sure you never miss the big shot. Make sure you choose Panasonic. See my friends at Smith's Home Furnishings.
We work hard in Thriftway, we're working hard for you, because we're more than just a store, we're your neighbors too, with quality and service. guest at Driftway. You always get our best. We're part of the community. We're part of the Northwest at Driftway. You always get our best.
Tonight's special presentation of Blazer Trail, a mid-season report, has been brought to you by Our Rent. We work harder to earn your business. By Montanore Vineyards of Forest Grove, Oregon's premier wine estate. And by IBM. Whatever your size, whatever your needs, IBM is working to bring you the best solutions.
Well, that puts the wraps on another edition of the Blazer Trail. Be sure to join us on April the 21st for our final primetime special of the season as we preview the playoffs. Now, we're going to leave you with this thought. There have been highs and lows to this point. But remember this, my friends, this Blazer team is still very capable of winning it all and evoking strong emotions in all of us. Wherever you may be, good night, everybody. And I'll see you on the radio.
This has been a Blazer Broadcasting sports presentation.
Once a year, there's a coat sale so big it breaks records. Right now, Burlington Coat Factory has slashed its already low prices on over 2 million coats during its once-a-year warehouse sale. It's America's greatest coat sale with tremendous savings on top-name coats for women, men, and children, plus sportswear, kids' clothes, and menswear at the lowest prices of the season now. Don't wait. At these prices, they won't hang around long. Save now on coats and so much more during Burlington's once-a-year warehouse sale.
The Ford Taurus has always been a great-looking car. But for 1992, Ford has made it even more attractive, from one end to the other. You can still get all the options you want on this spacious new Taurus, even though it's been redesigned from one side to the other, inside and out. And you can get the Taurus at a great price, even though it looks more elegant from top to bottom. Go to your Northwest Ford dealer today and take a look at the new Taurus for yourself.
Turn to Eric Schmidt and Marcia Coffey tonight on Newsroom 6 at 11.